Coach's Corner, and today we have the privilege once again to speak with Mr. Tom Dillon, who is the head man of our local band here at Artesia High School, and what a great job they do. And I know, Mr. Dillon, talking with you prior to starting the show today, you're very proud of the fact that you do support our football team and that you do everything that you can to fire up those players out there on the field.
You bet. Coach Henderson, that's one of the first things that he was so appreciative. Even from the first year we were here, he just asked me how many kids I had, and that's all he asked. And he knew the rest that I was coming here to practice during the this Columbus holiday, just like we have this year. And next thing I knew, about 8:30, my kids started coming in, and entire coaching staff was lining right here, handing kids breakfast burritos and orange juice and bottled water, and telling them good luck tomorrow. And I was just flabbergasted. And I said, coaches don't do that. I don't care what bands do, but this one did. And I asked him, I said, I really appreciate that. And he said, no, I appreciate you. And he says, you guys are one of the first people that really supports us and make noise when it is we have the on the defense, and makes life a little more easier in the way of defense. And my goal every football game is to catch about 2 offsides.
Home court advantage.
Home court advantage. And there was even this coming football game, Clovis. I went there one time, and several people came and said, why you only play when you guys on the defense? And I said, well, because we support our football team.
Yeah, there you go.
They didn't appreciate that.
Well, I know it pays off both ways, as you support them. As you said, the football players are very supportive of your program. I know you've got a big contest coming up this Columbus Day, and that will be next Tuesday, October the 12th. And this is something that we host here annually almost.
Yes, we've been, Artesia has been hosting a district marching contest even back in the 60s. And they have always done so. And we're going to start our contest on 4 o'clock at Tuesday. And the KSVP radio.com is going to broadcast live for us with Lisa Dillon as part of the commentator. And it starts with the Dexter High School, and followed by Moriarty High School band is going to be coming. Even though they are not in our district, he wanted to bring his band to our contest because he came to visit one time and said, hey, this is a very friendly competition, and I like that. So he brought his band for first time over last year. He's bringing his band back this year. Followed by Patalas at the 4:40, and Lovington High School is at the 5 o'clock, and then Roswell High School is a 5:20, and then Goddard High School is a 5:40, Artesia High School at 6 o'clock, followed by Hobbs High School at 6:20, and Carlsbad High School at 6:40. And then our guest performers will be the Eastern New Mexico University band, performs at 7 o'clock.
I see. Now, I noticed as you read off those towns and cities, some of them fall in the class 3A, some of them fall in class 4A and 5A. Are they all judged together, or is it by classification?
Well, even though they're in different classes, like Dexter, Moriarty, and Portales, Lovington's in 3A, and us 3 schools in 4A from Roswell and us, and 5A high school over Hobbs and Carlsbad. Still, the standard is the same in a way that they still have to play right notes at the right place. They still have to march properly with the proper spacings and proper left and right foot, uniform marchings, and basic standard, in my opinion, doesn't change.
I see.
I judged marching contests before, but even though it is a marching contest, it's basically 80% of that is a playing contest. They have to play well, they have to sound well, and if they don't, then it doesn't matter what they do on the field, it's not important anymore. because band is still need to play.
Exactly.
And a lot of band directors who's coming to our field don't understand that, but they, they have to play, and it is our profession to teach them how to play.
Exactly.
The rest is basically PE.
Yeah, there you go. Marching around in a circle.
Marching around in a circle, that's exactly right.
Well, Mr. Dillon, how and who are your judges this year, and how do they judge?
Okay, one of the judges is from Plainview High School. His name is Anthony Gonzalez. And the other one is from Dan Todd from Crane. His mom still lives here. Another one is Joseph Flores from Las Cruces High School. And we also have a color guard competition at West Main Baptist Church.
I see.
And again, they have the criticism sheet, and they judge from the time they get on the field all the way to the last step that they get off the field, according to how they perform. And they've been polishing ever since they started back in July to memorize music.
Well, what is, if you're a great band, what do you receive and how does that work?
Okay, there are 5 ratings at our contest. First division, which is a superior rating, that means that they played basically making an A in a classroom. They did everything well so that they can deserve a first division. Second division means that it's like making a B. There was some flaw in the performance in the marching as well as music. And a lot of times, if the band doesn't sound well on the football field, they use the marching criteria to justify their ratings.
I see.
And for example, I know a band that makes threes. I'm not going to mention who they are. They usually make threes. And they have a problem with the hat position on their head. The uniform pants is too short or too long, dragging their feet, or any kind of flags not doing very good. All those things are used as excuses, basically, to say, hey, your band doesn't sound good.
So it's almost a military type situation.
It is. Back when I was in high school, they used to have a military inspection. The judge will come to you and get your instrument and ask you for a serial number of that instrument and be sure that all the instruments are spotless. And it was a different time of the era back then.
Hasn't got quite that.
No, we got one less judge compared to those days.
Well, Mr. Dillon, we do invite everybody out next Tuesday to that competition. I know there's one other thing that you've got coming up that you wanted to talk about, and that is your cakewalk.
Yes, sir. The cakewalk's this August 16th, Saturday. This has been going on from last time I was in football field. This gentleman came to play, was a football member back in 1949, and he said that was their first year to do the cakewalk, so I know how, what is that, 61 years of the cakewalk that's been happening, and it's still going. And we will do that again Saturday week, and we start at 10 o'clock with a junior high band with Lisa Dillon conducting, and goes on to about 3:30.
Where will that take place?
It's going to be at the north side of Central Park.
North side of Central Park.
And all the kids, I'm sure, have already been bugging the people with selling of the prize cakes. The prize cake has envelopes filled with either 20 or 40 or 50 or $100 bill.
Wow.
Are in the that's why it is called the prize cake. And then they can also win the cake at the place, and they can buy a bunch of tickets there.
So to sum it up today, a big marching contest this coming Tuesday, October the 12th. And if you want to watch all the bands, what time should you be here?
I'll be here about 3:45, so be sure that you can get very good seats and watch all the bands. Because I think people can appreciate our band program more, especially after they see other bands. So they can compare and say, hey, we do have an outstanding program, not just in our band program, just to help the football team, which we do a lot, as well as doing our job to teach our kids all the disciplines that are needed to become well-rounded kids.
Well, due to the fact that we're in a bowl, does that help the sound of the bands?
It does in a way that it sounds like, for example, when we go to Clovis, even the Greyhound Stadium in Portales, the wind just blows 20, 30 miles an hour from the north, and there's nothing there between here to the North Pole, so sound just disappears. Here, being in a bowl, we do have a sound inside, and the judges can hear better. The color guard don't have to fight the wind as much, and there's a lot of positive things about being a bowl. I think that's why we have it here. But I do remember going to Portales and going to Portales as a high school student and marching in that Greyhound Stadium, and it was cold, cold.
The wind blew all your music?
Blew all the music sound away. Well, because all of us have to memorize music, so I don't have to worry about music much, but boy.
Well, Mr. Dillon, again, we appreciate you coming, and we'll look forward to talking to you the next time you come, and by then you'll know the ranking and the rating of the Artesia Marching Band, and until then, we appreciate you coming.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll be back with our second section of Coach's Corner right after this.